Hello everyone, it's Beth, your self-care specialist with Divine Me Time. I've got a sequence for you at the wall. So get a clear space up against a wall. Go ahead and lay a mat on the floor and then stand up against the wall. So I'm actually going to take my socks off so you can see my feet more clearly. So I'm probably about the distance from the wall about half of my foot. So you don't want to be right up against the wall with the heels, although you could start there just to feel what that's like. And if you do, then you're going to notice that most likely that the back is away from the wall, and that's not what we want. We want to actually feel the back against the wall. So you're just going to bring your feet a little bit more forward. And just let there be a little bit of a bend in the knees and then relax back against the wall, even letting your head rest if that's comfortable. Now, I didn't wear the best thing for this because I have this hood on, so I'm just going to pull that fabric away. There we go. And just allow some nice deep breaths here. We are really rooting through the feet. Spreading perhaps the toes and then hugging and then releasing so that we're not gripping up and away. And because the feet are a little bit forward of the body, we really can feel the full weight of the foot. And the whole body getting support from the feet as well as the wall. And then just notice how the back of the pelvis imprints, if it could, imprint against the wall. And sensing into the two shoulder blades. And just noticing if the shoulders are kind of rounded forward and away from the wall. And if they are, just see if you can let them kind of rise up towards the ears and make a slight round movement towards the back and then flatten against the wall. Notice how that opens through your chest. And then very gently, we're just going to begin to turn the head right to left. So keep the head connected to the wall and just notice, that the head might start to lean towards the shoulder a little bit as you turn. That's not necessarily wrong, but just notice if that happens. And also notice where your end range is and keeping that distant shoulder plugged into the wall so that you can really feel and sense into the lengthening of the side of the neck. And back to center. And to the other side. And again, noticing if the ear wants to come to the shoulder at some point. Taking a breath when you arrive, and then back to center. Let's do that a couple more times. Feel free to change it up. It doesn't have to be exactly as I am demonstrating or suggesting. In fact, I'd like to do a little bit of ear to shoulder, just to feel that. Back to neutral, and last time to the other side. Good, and relax back. You might feel like the legs are getting a little tired here. See if you can, instead of pushing the feet or putting the weight onto the balls of the feet, just let the feet rest against the floor. So now we're more supported by the bones of the legs. And again, feel for the pelvic, back of the pelvic sacrum. And then begin to flatten the back. So now we have these natural curves to the spine. See if you can start to curve towards the wall and flatten the small of the back. And just notice what wants to happen in the upper body. Everything kind of curls forward. The shoulders want to move off the wall. Maybe the chin even wants to drop towards the chest. Everything is rounding forward. The core is really pinned to the wall, and everything else is just kind of floating away from that rootedness, which is what happens with rootedness. That's how we get a sense of lightness. And then from here, just start to work from the lowest bone of the vertebrae and press the rest of the spine so the arch comes back in the lower back, and then the middle back starts to press against the wall all the way up to the head. And of course we have that nice curve behind the neck. And let's do that one more time. So taking the curve out, relaxing the feet first, because I notice that I tend to pull up. So make sure that you're relaxed. Let the natural curve of the lower back be there. Retach the shoulder blades if you need to. And once more, we will start to take that curve out of the lower back, pressing against the wall. And just noticing if it is, if you can do it in a smooth, connected fashion, or if there's kind of a feeling of juddery kind of movements, or maybe you're skipping a whole portion of the spine. Just notice. And continue on, so you'll feel the pelvic bowl tilt up this direction and the core engage, and just let it continue and let the upper body respond, so you are rounding. And from here, start to press the spine back to the wall. Head last, and relax again. Legs, you might even want to shake things out. Okay, so we are now going to step forward against the wall. So let your back remain attached, specifically the sacrum, and then the shoulder blades. And you can decide how deep you want to come here. If you just see from the side, I'm about this depth with my knees, but you're welcome to go even deeper into a 90-degree sit, but that will be quite intense, just so you know. We're going to be here for a while. So spread the toes, spread the feet, and just reconnect to the wall here. And just notice there are different kinds of, relationships that you can have to the ground. If I'm more on my heels and I'm dropping through the weight through my heels, maybe it's easier to wiggle my toes and whatever, and I might feel it more in the front of my thighs. Whereas if I start to move that pressure away from the heels and towards the toes, that actually might change the sensation that I have up my legs. So just notice that. And one of the tricks is you're here for a long period of time is to shift from one to the other, and it kind of gives a little break to the two different muscle groups. Just breathe and hold. If you find your back flattening against the wall, again, just let those curves be there. Everything from the waist up is really not working, but it will in a minute. Okay, so we're going to start to turn the palms open. So you may even feel the shoulder blades coming together a little bit in the back. Pressing the backs of the hands against the wall, we're going to inhale and sweep the arms up with an inhalation, just until you're in the upper corners. Hold here and breathe. And then bringing the elbows in back towards the waist and a little bit together. So you'll peel away through the curve of the lower back, and the shoulder blades will also come away but come together, and the chin will probably want to be turning up slightly here. So just feel and squeeze the shoulder blades together, using the wall for some feedback. And then opening back out, feeling the reconnection of the shoulder blades to the wall. And exhaling again, bringing those elbows together. And my palms here aren't touching the wall. It would be a little awkward to try, but some of you might be able to. And opening again. Reaching in two opposite directions with the arms. And then release. It's a lot of work, but you're feeling it. I am. Shake things out. Okay, we're going to stand with the feet, maybe 2.5 or 3 feet apart, toes facing forward, sacrum, pelvic bowl against the wall. And we're going to start a forward fold with the arms crossed. So crossing the arms over the front of the body. Now, start with everything as flat against the wall as you can get it, with the exception again of the curve of the lower back. We're going to start to bring chin to chest and peel away from the wall. Peel, 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 little bits at a time. And you might want to kind of press back up and then come down a little more each time. Press back up. Come down a little more. So we're peeling away from the wall into a forward fold. Notice how you can press the body against the wall to get some leverage until you are as low as you care to go for your body. And at least some part of the buttock is going to stay attached to the wall, even if you come all the way down. And once you're down, just let the hands go, just kind of hang here. If you would like some blocks, you could use those. So just softening through the backs of the legs, but with that support behind you. Crossing the arms now in the same way, and we'll start to iron up. So begin by pressing the tail into the wall and start to round up and come back. Round up a little more and come back. With a deep inhale, the head comes up last, and release the arms. Okay, you can shake things out. And we'll go with the arms in the other direction, or other cross. So cross in the reverse that you had. Wait, was that right? Yeah, so now I'm doing this. Okay, so just have the other arm on top, and if you've forgotten which one was which, that's okay. Okay, so starting with the head against the wall, everything pressed against the wall, and start to peel away from the head and back, a little deeper and back. Until you are in as much of a forward bend as you care to be, and then uncrossing the arms. So if you happen to, come down about halfway, then maybe resting with the hands on the thighs. So again, make sure you're connected to the wall, and just let the whole upper body rest and hang. And then crossing your arms the same way as you came down, which was this way. Okay, we're going to start to come up a little bit at a time. Inhalation, head coming up last, and releasing the arms. Good. And give a shake. Maybe coming up to the toes and deepening to stretch the backs of the feet here. And release. Okay. So now we want to stand a little bit wider. We're going to come into a goddess pose. So you're going to have, again, sacrum to the wall. My feet are about the distance of my feet now away from the wall. Toes out, and the knees no further over than where the toes begin. And let's just start by getting an imprint from here of the body as much against the wall as we can here. So again, lower back, there's going to be a little bit of an arch most likely. Now feel the shoulder blades against the wall and the head in this position. In a way, you can kind of sense the lower back and the middle to upper back coming back together towards the space behind you, towards the wall. It's almost like the arch of the back gets a little exaggerated. And you can feel lower back, the pelvis tilting down, thus the lower back moving up, and the shoulder blades pressing in and moving slightly down. So you don't have to, these aren't things you have to force. These are really, you can maybe activate them yourself intentionally to feel them more, but ultimately you want them to just be real subtle noticings as opposed to effort. So your legs are probably crying a little bit. That's okay. See if you can maybe feel for the heel, right? And go into that. And then switch and feel more for the toes. And just notice if that helps you release some of the gripping through the thighs as we hold here. And, let go if you need to. Take a break. So let's bring the arms again to behind the head. So see if you can keep your elbows as open as possible as you bend towards one knee. Breathe. And up. And to the other side. You might even want to look up towards the elbow against the wall, and that might help you press that elbow more towards the wall. Up And again. Whew. This is an intense workout, I must say. And one more time. Good job. Okay, so now we're going to bend off to the side while straightening the leg. And the other direction. Again, repeat. And last time. And back upright. Okay, one more with these. We're going to come into the plie or the bend. We're going to cross elbow to knee. So you're going to peel away from the wall, but try to keep that other elbow pinned to the wall as you draw the opposite one forward. Of course, you're not most likely going to touch your knee, but that's what we're aiming for. And other side. Try not to wrench the head forward. We don't want to reach with the head. We want to reach with the elbow. Last time. And there's also, a twist through the waist and core. Good. So go ahead and shake that out. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we'll come down to the wall. And feel free to sit on a little blanket or block if you need the height under your hips. So I want you to bring now the lower back all the way to the wall, okay, as much as you can. And just sit up nice and tall here, pressing everything against the wall. Breathe. Now, we're going to peel ourselves away from the wall, again, as we did standing. It's going to be a little bit of a different experience. So, starting with the head first, we're just going to nod the head yes. So just feel that motion through the spine. This is the very top of the vertebrae. And then the second bone is the nose, so just begin to shake the head no. It can be little, it can be big. Just to feel that action, you can return to the first nodding and then the shake. And then start to drop the chin to the chest. And again, as you peel away from the wall, you want to press what remains against the wall in a little deeper. So here we go, chin to chest. Feel the wall as you press and come away from the wall into whatever depth of forward fold you want here. Taking a breath when you arrive. And then we'll go back up the way we came, so pressing now through the lower back against, feeling each little connection, ironing out any kinks, and head coming up last. Good. Let us change the cross of the legs here. Okay, so same thing, starting with just little nods. Relax, breathe, rest. This is pretty effortless here. nodding and then shaking. And when you're ready, maybe doing a little play between the two. And then starting chin to chest. Feeling as you bring the chin to chest, the shoulder blades really press in. Ironing your back all the way down until you have to leave the wall. Maybe just the very tailbone section is still intact. Or maybe that pulls away too. Take a breath when you arrive. Relax. And then begin your ascent, pressing lower back. And up. And letting everything release and soften, but still attached to the wall. We're just going to take a moment here. So, there's definitely space in my lower back, so let that be there. You don't have to necessarily press the lower back against the wall. Or you might want to. You might want to actually play a little bit with making an exaggeration of the curve away from the wall and feeling that, and then pressing into the wall. So we kind of did this standing as well, noticing that when you push everything back, the core tightens, the shoulders want to round away from the wall. And when you arch the back, then the shoulder blades get pinned. Feel more of the middle back perhaps. And just doing some cat-cow at the wall here. And just really enjoying that sensation of the wall behind you. You can start to get a little more organic now in your feelings and sensations. Kind of rolling maybe side to side a little bit, but really staying connected and noticing that relationship to the wall. You know, it's easy when we're on the floor, on our backs, to feel the floor, but it's very different if the body is upright and we can find a sense of that same support behind us. So that's what this is an exploration of. Good, and then just settle back. Breathe and let go. You may find as you breathe that there's a sense of rippling through the spine in a kind of a wave-like motion with the inhalation and exhalation. No effort. Just a spontaneous, organic arising of lift and settle with the breath. Thank you for practicing with me today for this somewhat out of the ordinary wall practice. I hope it brought a lot of new sensations to your body. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share your thoughts in the comments. Take good care.